We've all probably watched great drummers play quick combos or chops around the kit and thought, I want that. But when we try to do it ourselves, we suffer from buffering errors or glitches. Like that pinwheel of death on your MacBook, except that's your brain on drums. And today I'm going to show you a quick way of cheating to get past some of these tempo hurdles. Today's lesson is for people who can actually play decent chops at slower tempos, but are struggling to get beyond a certain tempo. Oh, hey there, I'm Nate. Anyway, this little technique looks a little like cheating, and it's true, it can save you time. But for everybody who's gonna say, there are no shortcuts, you just have to put in the time, bro. The no shortcuts part is you still have to be able to come up with combos slowly. Anyway, people call me the 80-20 drummer, and on this channel we go a little deeper, a little nerdier when it comes to the drums. And today we discuss one simple technique to double your speed on drums in a shorter period of time. Anyway, stay tuned. And folks, we're going to have a fair amount of exercises in this lesson, and you might be tempted to transcribe them. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. You can get the transcription for free by clicking the link below the player and telling us where to send it on the next page. Now, on with the lesson. A couple of weeks ago, I had the privilege of interviewing Chris Coleman. And Chris's interview reminded me of a viral video he did a few years back to explain the root of a phrase that's fallen out of fashion, but which just meant church improvisation on drums. So obviously the subject matter is interesting, but I'll come to what else caught my attention. How many licks do you think you need to play a fast solo or fill? 50? 100? Watch Chris when he slows it down. Here's the first mind-blowing thing I'll say. What if I told you it was like 3? Like, here I am improvising a solo. Now, I'll slow it down. I'm actually just alternating among 3 licks, and I'll play them for you now, one by one. So this is the root of what we'll discuss today. Insight 1, you don't need a million licks. Let's say you feel perfectly at ease free associating when you're playing slower improvisation on the drum kit. You're keeping a loose group of 12 to 13 potential shapes in your active memory, and it feels like you're connected to a much larger reservoir if you need it. But if I were to tell you to inch the metronome up, it would feel like at a certain point you hit a mental block. Like all of a sudden you're in a dream and you can't remember who you were in waking life. That's why it's important to keep in mind you don't need to take 12 or 13 licks across the divide with you. You only need about 2 to 3 at any one time. Before we get into exactly how I recommend my students practice this stuff, let's first talk about why it's important. When I teach improvisation, phase 1 is often concerned with getting people comfortable improvising up to, say, quarter equals 75. First, we're learning mechanics, like stick height, subdivision, and zones. And we're priming the pump with vocabulary. Then, we're building that active memory about what to play, such that people can access that reservoir, and they're playing clean, clear, original ideas that sound like they wrote them down, except they're improvising them. That's kind of like the first Lord of the Rings movie. They got through some stuff, Frodo and Sam met Galadriel, they set off on their own toward Mount Doom, while Aragorn and the others are setting about defending Rohan, and Gandalf's doing whatever Gandalf's doing. But here's the issue. If I play a comfortable funk beat, this slots in between 120 and 140 to the quarter. And if I play a fill in 8th notes, it's fine, but we really want to be able to play in 16ths if we need to. That's why book 2 involves raising the tempo. Are we ready for the protocol? That's a fusion joke. Anyway, the protocol! I want you guys to learn about something I'm going to call micro-theme and variations. I'm setting the metronome at quarter equals 140, and I'm just playing one lick that's 2 beats long. Wait! Maybe that's too complicated. Let's just do this. I'm just playing right, left, left kick over and over again. You can shed this slow, fast, slow, but eventually you want to turn your metronome on and try to play it at a steady tempo. I've got 140 in my AirPods. As I'm practicing this, I'm getting comfortable with the feeling of moving it around the kit. Just one shape. Now comes the fun part. You're going to jump to an adjacent lick. Just for a second. Here I'm using right, left, kick, kick. Then we're going to jump right back. We're going to sit with our home bass lick a little longer. Then we're going to jump again. Each time we jump, we come back. We're teaching ourselves to retreat to the home bass lick if things get confusing, not stop. Gradually, we use the adjacent lick more and more. Now, let's try this with a variation. Right, left, right, right, left kick. This is essentially a hemiola on the original lick. So we'll play the home bass lick again, then this time we'll jump to the hemiola as the adjacent lick. Same thing. Increase your comfort level and orchestrate to more places. Start using the B version more and more. Let me show you one of my favorite combos. This is right, right, left kick, right, left kick. And as with the variation, I'm going to make a hemiola by repeating the second half. We'll switch back and forth between those two. Incidentally, you might be wondering, how do I come up with these ideas? Part of the answer is, watch this video here. But now, let's put this whole sequence together. Here I am with lick A, and I'll start incorporating lick B. After a few seconds of that, I'll evolve into licks C and D. Now I'll keep lick C and find another adjacent lick. Then I'll kind of mix and match. Finally, let's talk about the last part of this, trading and leaving space. When we get super comfortable with this kind of micro-theme and variations, we can start trading with simple groups. It's okay if you're consciously using the prefab licks for now. The idea is to improvise your micro-theme and variations practice, then use your home bass lick to get you going with trading. Gradually over weeks, it'll be easier to just go stream of consciousness. The next challenge is leaving space. We've saved this for last because at the beginning, the imperative is to be able to play continuously without glitching. But once you've got a higher comfort level with that, you can practice leaving space. Two primary ways I like to do this. The first is by dropping down to half the subdivision rate in between phrases. Here I am playing eighths, then jumping to sixteenths, then back to eighths. The second is by leaving space, just like a jazz drummer. We can start by leaving a bar of improv, then leaving a bar of silence. Then, gradually, we can blur the lines. Should we review? Say you're a drummer who can improvise pretty fluidly at slower tempos, but struggles to break something like the 75 to 80 BPM barrier. First of all, this is very normal and not a cause for concern, but there is a way to get there faster. The first step is to realize that you don't need every lick under the sun, you just need 2 to 3 at any one time. The next step is to rep a single lick for 5 to 10 minutes at a higher tempo than you're usually comfortable with. Then you can add an adjacent lick and practice switching briefly to that, then retreating to the safety of your original lick. Over time, you can add more and more variations, but always keeping the number of balls in the air to a max of 3 things. This will take a few weeks, but when that's comfortable, the next stage is trading between grooves and simple solo ideas. And finally, practicing leaving space.
And that's how you get the gig.
So folks, did we do a thing? Hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you'll keep an open mind to these ideas. Take them, play with them, try with them, and let me know how it goes. And leave me a comment below if you have a method that you feel like helps increase your speed of licks faster. Don't forget, we have a free transcription of this for you. That's available if you click the link below the player and tell us where to send it on the next page. Do this, Ben. We'll always enjoy these. See you again real soon in another lesson of the week.